I'm sure you guys would appreciate me being a little closer. At least I do anyway. So I'm experiencing a lot of, I've been learning how to give myself a little bit more grace. A lot more grace to myself in these past, I guess, week or two. This past week or two has definitely taught me a thing or two about how God works. God works in really, really funny, mysterious ways. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ashley, and this is The Pink Sofa. Okay, so here's the thing, right? And I was gonna have everything all organized and everything else. I actually recorded this, what I was gonna do today, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, right? But I just felt like it just didn't really serve it much justice, exactly what it is that I had to say. So I just felt like filming this and everything else like that. And plus on top of that, I learned a lot more compared to those past 2 weeks ago, right? So me, right now, I'm just gonna get really personal with y'all. I have been working a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean I have been working overtime at my job, like my 9 to 5, the ones that pays my bills, right? And I am also working obviously on The Pink Sofa, and I am working on an EP called Sad Drunk Girl. Now, I was supposed to release Sad Drunk Girl last month, but I ended up having emergency surgery with my mouth. Like, it was just like, when I was about to start recording, boom, things was just start happening. And then I had to realize that after this time, when I started getting closer and closer to the date, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm knocking this stuff out. And I really am. I literally have my computer right next to me to work. I had to realize, and I've been, training my voice, like actually been training my voice. And because I realized like I was straining my voice really, really badly. And I was like, why am I straining my voice badly? And all this stuff like that. Like, I do vocal exercises and warm-ups every single day, every day, no rest. Just working tirelessly to help improve myself and, improve my craft, especially if I want to take it serious. I want to really focus on what it is that I want to do. And so it would serve me no justice, or serve the craft absolutely no justice if I don't work on it, because your voice is an instrument at the end of the day. So you have to tune it, and you have to do. My iPhone's acting stupid. It's not stupid. It just ran out of storage. Anyway, so yeah, you have to fine tune your voice and everything else. Like, just like how playing a guitar. Aerosmith did not become Aerosmith overnight. So I had to give myself grace when it came to that, because I hated hearing my voice when I first started recording. And I hated, HATED, hated it. But I really had to look at it from the perspective of, not only am I building my portfolio, right? Because if you don't release something, then I can say all I want. Like, you know what? I produce music and which I do, obviously. But if I'm not releasing it, there's nothing to show, because there's been so many times where people are like, oh, you produce music? Like, let me see your work. And then I don't really have much to prove for it. Or I do, it's incompleted projects. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to honor my story, because it's all about my alcoholism. And one thing about your path to faith, and having faith, once you lead that path, and I'm not talking about just opening up the Bible, or opening up the Torah, or the Quran, anything else like that, or whatever tool that you use, or wearing crystals and walking around and be like, you know what, now I changed. Like, no, that's not how that works. You have to actually take time to reflect and be able to heal. be able to heal. People, they think that the only time that they need to tell their testimony is when, you know, or when they need to tell their story is when they're having like a testimony instead of an establishment, instead of actually taking the time to really just, you can't move forward unless you address the past. You know, people, at least from what I've seen, and this is just a general statement, it's not, obviously take it for what it is, leave what does not apply to you, okay? But people, they tend to forget, or they want to push away the life that they had before, you know, being saved, or, you know, changing, because it's a little hard for you to actually look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what, this is exactly how I was, and this is exactly how I acted. But in those moments, that's when you need to give yourself grace, because God forgave you already. And so you need to forgive yourself, meaning for the way that you acted and the way that you behaved. And honestly, be okay with it, because guess what? At that time, you really didn't know better. Even if you knew better, you didn't necessarily know better, because maybe it's an environment that you were in that caused you to act like that. Or maybe you saw certain things that, you know, that was the way that you responded, and that's the only way that you knew how to respond. Because once again, everything always stems from childhood, the way that you grew up and everything else like that. But back to what I was talking about. I really had to, God did not create the earth in one day. If they did, I mean, shoot, God is all powerful, everything else like that. So I mean, they can if they really wanted to, but they took 7 days for a reason. And then on the last day, they took time to rest. They took time to rest, to sit back and look and see exactly every single thing that they did to make the earth the way that it is, if we go according to the Bible, right? Don't think that your efforts, they're in vain. For me, I was rushing it because I was like, oh, I'm working so hard. Like, I mean, I literally am up from like early in the morning before I have to go to work, and I'm working on this EP. Then I have to work for 8.5 hours. That's not even talking about travel time to get there and then travel time to get back home. Then I have to, you know, cook, and I have to, you know, just be an adult. I didn't ask to be here, but, you know, just be an adult. And then before I go to bed for probably about 2 hours or so, I'm literally working on, at this point now, vocals. And you know, in the meantime, on my drive to work, you know, I'm doing my vocal exercises, and I'm, you know, being intentional, and just like all of those things. It's just one of those, it's just, I can burn out very easily. And, you know, my mind isn't tired. I mean, I lied. It is tired. Let me not lie on here. All right. Let me not lie on here. Let me not lie on here. Your girl is tired. I mean, I am physically exhausted. That's what I should say. I'm physically exhausted. And on top of that as well, like, for a while, I was even throwing myself a pity party for a quick second, because it was just like, oh, well, why this, or why that, or why that? But I still always have faith that they will get better, because guess what? I've been in worse. I mean, I was sleeping in my car at one point in time, and I was just grateful for the fact every single day that I would wake up and have to go to the gym and take showers with some of these nasty, like some things I don't want to remember, nasty, like certain smells I don't want to remember, certain aspects of it that I just do not want to remember. It was rough, but if I could get through that, if I could get through, you know, certain things that happened way before that as well, like some really, like some things that some other people had never been through, and, you know, they could be the toughest person out there, and then I tell them certain things, they're like, oh shit, like, yo, sorry, I mean, I curse, it is what it is. But they can be like, oh shoot, like, you know what I'm saying, like, there's some things that just keep going. And that's not just for me, it's for you as well. Just keep going. If it's something that was put in your spirit and in your heart for you to do, even if it's not the way that you imagined it or how you pictured it, just because there's certain delays doesn't mean that it means stop. It doesn't mean stop. It means that it's not the right time right now. But just take things day by day and just continue to move forward and continue to go, because guess what? God always has you in the end. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. It doesn't matter how much you mess up. Guess what? God is such a forgiving God. I mean, such a forgiving God. They forgive you for every single thing that you do. But you also have to forgive others as well. And you also have to forgive yourself. I think that's the hardest thing for you to do, is to forgive yourself. Don't feel like you're just slacking just because, any little step that you take is a step in the right direction. You're never in the wrong space at the wrong time. I don't know why all this is coming through, but I mean, hey, look, if somebody needs to hear it, then someone needs to hear it. You're never in the wrong space at the wrong time. You're never in a place where you feel like, hey, look, like I'm messing up, unless like you're genuinely like purposely messing up and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there is such thing as self-sabotage. I mean, we all go through it. I go through it as well. But there is always such thing as, hey, pick yourself up. It doesn't matter if the setbacks, they happen. I mean, that's life. I mean, that for real, that's life. You're always gonna have setbacks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. You can be doing everything right. There's no such thing as right. There's no such thing as right. I want you to really take that in. There's no such thing as right. It doesn't matter, stop putting pressure on yourself, because there's no such thing as right. There's no such thing as right. There's wrong, depending on your moral compass. Depending on your moral compass, there's right and there's wrong according to you. But essentially, you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong things. I mean, no, lies. You can be. I have been before. So let me not lie on here. But there's always certain experiences that you're meant to have in order for you to grow from it. If you guys want story times on here while I'm doing the pink sofa as well, I will give you guys story times about certain things that I've been through. Because maybe I won't seem so robotic and just motivational, this, that, and the third. Because there's some days where I'm just you know what, I'm about to throw this in the towel, but then God's no, it didn't take you all this way just for you to not do this. So I'm back. I'm here. It's not like I left. I'm trying not to burn out. So, if you see this outfit for maybe an episode or two or whatever the case may be, it's literally because I have to film all this stuff at one time so that I don't burn out while I'm, doing what it is that I need to do. But let me know what you think. Hopefully it's not all over the place when I'm editing this and seeing how everything is going. But yes, let me know what you think of it. Please leave comments. Please, reach out or anything else like that. I really, 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 really would like for this to be a community where not only could you get to know me and I can get to know you, but you guys can get to know each other. I mean, look, we're all people here, we're all on God's green earth, and ain't nothing wrong with getting to know other people. So yeah, just make sure to comment, and subscribe, and then I will see you guys next time. Okay, I love you. And I hope that you find the love that it is that you're looking for, and I pray that you receive the love that God has for you and always shows you every single day. Okay, goodbye.